Hi, welcome to Mystic Frequency. I'm Lisa, and I'll be your collective tarot reader here today on February 23rd, 2026. But do not fret if you find this reading, especially further down the road, whether that be a week, a year, a month, or two, and you felt called to click into this reading. I mean, there is a reason. Something here caught your attention, and your guides are trying to reveal a message or a code for you that you may only understand. So, if you want to go ahead and get dived into this reading, especially if you are someone that constantly returns to my readings, first most, thank you so much for being a returner. And if you are new, you are more than welcome to stick out for the intro so you can kind of see how I play the intro out and have a better understanding of how I do my readings. But before I get ahead and jump ahead of myself, if today is your birthday, it doesn't matter if it is February 23rd, but if you jump into this reading and it is your birthday, happy birthday. Thank you for making it another trip around the world with us today. Always here on this channel, I want to make sure my listeners feel like they are celebrated. And if you don't have a celebration going on, find something to celebrate in your life. Think about an achievement, a milestone, or something that you have done. Maybe it is kicking a habit out the door or finding ways to, provide more self-care to yourself even. Find something to celebrate today. Now, leading over into my disclaimers, I can not give professional advice. I can, however, share personal experiences if I feel it may assist my listener, or if it is a guided message through tarot and oracle today. And when I am doing these readings, it's through personal joy and passion, and this is my hobby. So do not let this dictate how you rule your life. The wheel is always in your hands, and you should take control of it and just take this as maybe I should look and see where I am driving down this road, or if I'm trying to climb a mountain and I don't even have wheels on my car, or the tank is empty. If this reading starts to not resonate, please don't force or try to make it click. That is not going to be beneficial to you or those that you are around. It'll make things a lot more hectic. But if you start to hear or feel a specific energy that sounds like someone else, then that is just a frequency that your guides are using in order to channel this message and pass it along to this loved one or someone you are in contact with constantly. And you should never try to, like I said, never try to take medicine that is not meant for you, or you find that if think about it. If you had a stomach bug, you wouldn't be taking viral medication for your lungs or anything like that. So please take what resonates for you specifically and share the message if you know it will help someone tremendously. And then the last thing you can do with this reading, if it's not resonating, is I used this as an example yesterday and I love it. Imagine you have a library with all sorts of self-help tools. And by taking this information, you are placing another old withered book on the shelf. And when it's time for you to go back to this library and actually use this information, you will have it on your shelf waiting for you. But that's ultimately what these readings are for. But they are generally here to just assist and help you or help another person. But I'm excited and ready to dive into this reading. So let's go ahead and start off with looking at your planetary astro dice that's coming through, or the energies that are coming in. So we have, as I knock Pluto over, I've decided to name this crow Pluto because I don't think he likes being called just the crow. I mean, he probably does, but so we have Pluto in Aquarius in the fourth house. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit about Pluto as I put these cards up here. This energy that is here present with you is trying to reveal like any kind of toxic system, or even these buried secrets or truths that you have been keeping within you or have been pushing off to the side. At one point, they did serve a purpose in your life, but now Pluto is saying that we need to do something with the systems that you have because things are leaking out of control. I don't know if you notice that my screen is going black and white and dark and gray, and I don't know what is going on with my camera right now, but take that as a, a sign that your guides are saying, like, your filter around what you are seeing today is like very limited, and you have these blinders up, and there are things that are on fire around you, and it's like someone is taking your hand and forcefully putting them down. And this can be very frightening for those who have been doing this their entire life, where they have been avoiding things. But and like, I'm imagining someone is on this train that has been going 157,000 miles an hour, and your guides want you to be the engineer because you have been letting someone fuel the engine with all this coal and all this power, and there's smoke just bellowing in the back, and it's like you're breathing in all these fumes, and it's making you tired. It's making you see just haze, if you will, around you, and nothing is really clear anymore. But you're in this engine, literally in the engine itself, and not even realizing that someone had shoved you, thinking you were the coal, if you will. And now your guides are trying to pull you out so that way you can conduct this, this mission, this whatever you are driving on. And you're like, how did I even get the ticket in order? How do I even get off this train? How do I get the ticket to get off this train? And one of the things you can do is by kicking people off the train that fueled the speed at which it was going. And then you can decide, well, once you turn around and look forward and see that there is a train track in front of you, you're going to know whether or not it has a clear destination of where it needs to go, or if we're going to need to slow the train down because the rest of the railroad has not been built yet for you. It's like you are throwing yourself into something you are not even ready for. And your guides are saying, like, if you would kind of like slow things down, by the time you reach this point, everything will be smooth sailing for you. Now, the ticket to get out of this is by addressing any kind of karma wounds that you have. Have you been letting other people drive the train for you? Have you been letting other people develop the road system and the railroad system for you? Have you been, just letting anybody jump on the train and not paying attention to those that may be climbing on top of it? Or, what's funny is this is making me think of the Polar Express, and I don't know why. Y'all may be very fond of that movie, but think about, your actions and the things that, tend to add up. Or like anytime you don't resolve through a specific issue in your life, it's like it adds more coal or it adds more cargo to the train that slows the process down or speeds it up in an unpredictable way. And through each layer or train cart that you address or confront, your identity is being questioned, making you very vulnerable. And in my town where I live, I grew, like, my grandparents were right across a railroad. And so we got to see all sorts of different types of trains. And it makes me think of someone that has graffiti on their trains. And it's like, oh, I need to spray over that because I can't let someone see what was, done to me. And then someone sprays over it, and then it's like someone lets a lower vibrational energy back in, or doesn't protect the train and make sure that no one is tagging it or marking it. And now you're back to the starting point. It's like, I can't even leave my destination. I can't even go out in public because I'm so ashamed of, what I have on me. And I don't want you to feel ashamed for any kind of baggage that you may have picked up over time. You're here today because you are addressing an energy that needed to be confronted for a long time. And I'm very proud of you. Like, the last 4 or 5 readings that I have been doing, I am so proud of this collective, and I am so inspired by almost seeing like histories being, revealed, and everyone having a specific key or a specific door that was made solely for them. And I want you to not, if I love graffiti, I love art. I love people with tattoos. I love all of that. And I'm honestly jealous of those that do have, a little bit of art with them, a little bit of symbolism or keys that they carry with them wherever they go. And I want you to not be scared of stepping out into the public and, take pride in any kind of battle wound you have, any kind of scar or any kind of thing that tried to kill you, but it didn't. Let that be the fuel that determines how fast you are going, or when you need to slow down, or when you need to put the brakes on something. But be very proud of where you are and the fact that you were addressing, these karmic cycles that you may find yourself through. And even if you are vulnerable, you are still protected. Your guides are here today to let you know that they're with you, and they're really letting you know that there could have been so much more worse involved if you had not started this process right now. It could have been bad. And this entire time I feel like your guides have been picking people up by their coats and like shoving them out the door. And at first you were like, why are you walking out? Why are you leaving? Why do you keep and it's like your guides were the ones that were really forcing that energy out of your life for your highest good. Because you have a purpose of raising the collective and helping others progress forward. And at times you may have had someone that was wounded just like you, and you brought them in because it was like it's harder for you to deal with your own healing, but it was easier to help heal someone else, to help nurture someone, to give someone a home or a sense of purpose. And then the instant that they got that healing that they needed, it's like a door opened for them and they left. And then it's like, why do people keep leaving? Why do these good folk that I am around keep leaving me? And I really hope that's not the case, but I do want to say that you are a healer. You may not realize that when people are around you, you are helping them transform as well. And you are helping them bring light to the darkest areas of their life that they may have been avoiding. And now your guides are saying you were in a particular spot where you have been so focused on someone else's karma that now it's time for you to look at your own karma, especially if it's preventing you from moving forward. Now's the time to rebel and control what keeps you physically not here, or what you are trying to control in your grasp. So if you find that you are someone that is constantly trying to make sure everything is in alignment, or that you are trying to make sure you meet all I'm seeing someone write something, checking back over what they're writing, and then before they even pass it off, they check it again. And it's like, does this ticket match this person? Does this ticket match me? And the instant that you start to see that there's some discrepancies in this ticket punch, you're like, no, get out. I'm not going to let you come in here and try to control what I have going on. Or you may find that you're trying to take other people's tickets, and you're like, I need you to sign off on this. I need you to read this. I need you to, and then it's like, I need you. And this person has no sense of need for themselves if someone else is constantly needing them. So they find that your energy can be really difficult to taste, if you will. It's like they understand that they have their own crap that they need to work on. And your guides are saying that there will be specific people that will come to you in your life, but it's up to them whether or not they drink the foul liquid that they need to drink. And it's not up to you to keep drinking their crap, if you will. And now's a great time to just do that little bit of self-control for yourself, where you are not finding that you are trying to fix everything for everybody, but kind of pull the reins back and think about any kind of story that you were telling yourself that is on repeat, or it's like, I just really want to make sure that this person is all right. I just want to help them. I want to help them get back on the road again. And it's at the expense of your own well-being. Or like, do you tell yourself you are not deserving of being healed, or that you don't deserve good things in your life, or that you don't deserve to have a honest to good family, or that you need to stay with what is only blood? And that is one thing that your guides are trying to show you, is that family is not necessarily blood. In this case with Aquarius, family is anybody that has similar beliefs like you do, that doesn't try to force you to fit in a mold, or force you to go through a rebirth that wasn't meant to be a rebirth in that moment. Family is someone that accepts you for your ideas, accepts you for your opinions, and, learns to agree to disagree when, there are minds that don't think alike. But it's like you don't have to constantly fight these people. So think about the stories you were telling, or the stories you were telling your family, or the stories you were trying to tell others about someone that they don't feel comfortable with. It's like, oh, he's okay, or she's okay. I'm sorry. Or maybe you're telling yourself, I am so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And you just find that you are apologetic. And you don't need to apologize for anybody. You don't need to apologize on someone else. It's up to someone. If someone is in the wrong, that is their job to apologize for whatever they did was wrong. That is not your job. Don't apologize, people, for their actions. If someone is constantly coming in here and mucking up your life, then they need to think about how they mucked up the relationship that they could have had with you. And this could be friendships, this could be coworkers, this is anybody that, took advantage of you. And now you were saying that I'm not going to keep going through this cycle of take care of someone else's needs before my own, or take care of someone else's rebirth before my own. I have wings that I need to grow too. And there is a place that I want to go and achieve on top of this mountain that is my own sense of accomplishment, where I can see that I make a difference in this effing world. And you do make a difference. And with the Aquarius, you have been marching to someone else's drum, to someone else's rhythm, and now you're taking your stick back and you're playing the drum how you want, and you're looking everybody in the eye and saying, look what note I can play, when I'm not letting someone else tell me what I should be singing for myself. And you're discovering your inner truths. You're discovering how much more freedom you have when the scales are tipped in your favor, and you are making sure that the playing field is equal, that you are not letting someone go without. You're giving someone the option to, you're like, I understand what it is that you're going through, and I'm sharing wisdom from my own transformation to help you progress. But it's up to you whether or not you take the information I give so willingly. And if you don't take it, I'm not going to keep feeding the same cup that you have been, you look at what's in your cup and then you pour it out, and then you wait for me to pour some more in your cup. And I'm like, no, that's your own job. Feed your own ego, feed your own, whatever cycle that you're in. That is your cycle. That's not my job to figure out how to cut your cords. And you are giving people a time limit of how much energy you are wanting to spend in their own personal battles. It's like, I've given you everything that I could possibly give right now, and I don't have any more energy left in me to do this. I just by being around you, I need to do some cleansing. I need to do my own personal, fire, if you will. I need to burn my own coal so that way I can start throwing things in the fire to let go of whatever baggage I'm carrying. And, you really do want to have a perfect place for everyone. You want to have that perfect place for yourself. And you're finding that anytime you've like opened the doors, try to let everyone come in, you find that you've had to leave your own home in order to start over again. This energy, let me tell you something. In my early 20s, I don't know how often I've had to run away from certain people that we were trying to assist and help. And, there was a time where we had an apartment full of adults that had so much going on in their life, but they were not doing anything to help themselves. And my husband is non-confrontational. He just wants to help people. He wants everybody to get along. And it took a toll on our marriage, I will say, when you are two people who are non-confrontational and you have friends who, they've had someone really hold their hand their entire life, or they have their own inner demons that they have been walking with, or letting their inner demons walk in front of them and drag them along. They let the shadow take their light. And this energy with Pluto and Aquarius is saying that no more. You're not going to create a perfect place for everybody all the time. You're going to show them, okay, well, here is the blueprint of how to make the perfect house more structurally stable. And you're going to build it, because I don't have any more resources to give. I've already built my house. No, get out of my house. This is not your house. This is my house. This is my own sanctuary where I find peace. I'm not going to keep supplying it for you. And the fourth house is where you were trying to find that private peace and comfort, where you are discovering that soul home to let roots grow and nurture the tribe that is your tribe. It's not a tribe from someone else. It's your own tribe. The people that understand, respect you, respect your boundaries, respect your ideas, respect your beliefs, and respect when you need to step away and take care of yourself. There are healthy boundaries here that are coming through. And that is the tribe that is meant to be in your home. So you were dismantling generational patterns and curses in your life. You are looking at relationships that feel distant. And you are subjecting these relationships to radical change. Either you're going to change, or you are not going to be around my home, my sense of safety, my sense of security. And this is a lifelong quest that you may find. This isn't just something that happens overnight. And even when you find that perfect place, or that place that feels secure and home, you will find that you are constantly changing, even within this shell that you are in. This is something where you will find shadow work will benefit you greatly, so that way you can face uncomfortable truths, any kind of deep-seated fear, or think about your origins and where you have come from, or where your family has came from and has constantly passed down something that it's like they handed you a pile of crap. And I can't stress that enough. It's like, and it sucks, but you incarnated in this life and was like, thank you for this pile of crap you handed me. I am not going to keep putting up with what I have seen my family do. I'm going to show others how to fucking do the walk. And I'm sorry if you don't like swearing or cussing. I had to say that. This group, you've got a mouth. You've got a mouth, and you don't like having to hold your words back. And then when someone takes your freedom of speech away from you, it sets you off. And it's like, I just imagine this volcano exploding around you. And you're like, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. And I'm here to actually do something about it. So that way, my future children, my future, friends' children, people who come into contact with me, they have something to look back on and see that I cut the cord. I'm the one that took the scythe and cleared the field and decided what I wanted to plant. And I wasn't going to, keep planting trauma and bullying and cycles of I'm going to leave and then I'm going to stay and then I'm going to leave and then I'm going to stay and then I'm going to have, I'm actually going to have unconditional love that wasn't conditioned by what someone, it's like I'm not going to meet someone else's standards. And I know I'm leaning heavily into this energy, and I have yet to break down into your tarot and your oracle. So this reading, I want y'all to take this, every word that your guide is trying to share with you today, because this feels like your higher self is coming in and shaking you. And they're trying to wake you up and look at these relationships to do the shadow work. Is your shadow walking next to you, behind you, in front of you? Or where did your shadow go? Is it like Peter Pan where your shadow just takes off and it's like a part of your world is kind of like missing and you can feel it, and you're having to look every which way because at one point your shadow protected you and now it's gone. And now all of this light is coming in and filtering in and showing you all the areas of your life that you have been ignoring. You're taking stability back by constantly changing the perspective that you have or even the location. It's okay if you have to move to higher ground. It's okay if you have to move to keep yourself from falling back into a cycle when you are with someone. You shouldn't have to leave your own home. You shouldn't have to leave your own town, city, state, or country where you live. But if you know it's going to help you transform and get rid of something very toxic, so that way you can bring in something that is very healthy and mature, then do so. That is for your highest good. Choose your family today. Choose who's allowed to be in your tribe. Choose your friendships. Choose your community. Choose who will help you progress forward and help the community. Now, before I forget all these cards and get into this, I do kind of want to talk about your animal spirit guide that is coming through today. We have Cheetah coming in full force, running. And when I pulled this card, I heard this line. It was, why are you running? What are you chasing? Why are you running? What are you chasing? Why are you running? What are you chasing? Because you need to know what your purpose is. Not someone else's purpose. You need to know what your purpose is and what makes you sprint into action. And this is the energy that your guides are wanting you to see is, and that may be why your shadow is left in the dust, because you are propelling yourself forward. Cheetah energy, this is fire here that's coming through. Cheetah is leading you towards change, taking action, confronting your ego and making others confront their egos that they put on spotlight. This cheetah is challenging you to become your best self. And you'll find her making, all of these loops that you find. I'm just thinking of this figure 8 that's going on. And you may find that at this point where you're in the center of this figure 8, there's a lot of discomfort and a lot of conflict that needs to be addressed. But this is the kind of fire energy that you need, that is an elixir for you to drink. This is where you are going to find there are deadlines. There are demands that need to be met. And this putting a light inside to scare any kind of darkness that you may have been afraid of, your own darkness. If you've been afraid of, we all have monster thoughts. We all have these things at, these, what are they called? these intrusive thoughts. I had to think about what that was called. But your mind is running so quick right now, and you are just thinking of that train. And this cheetah has been running along this train, getting ready to jump on and show you the areas in which you need the most change. And when you step out of this furnace that people have been throwing you in, that have been trying to force you to do a whole bunch of shady things, because I keep thinking of the shadow, but it feels like you've been forced to do a lot of shady things that were not for your highest good, and ignore a lot of things that should have been addressed, especially in your early childhood. You may have not had those parental givers that showed you what patience was, or forced you to, pick things up really quickly. But you are a source of light. You think that the sun is what gives light to this world, but in reality, it is the light that you have that has been, shining everything that is going on around you. But think of this cheetah, how it's like so focused on what it has in front of it. And it's like it doesn't realize that there are these fires that need to be addressed. And I imagined this grassland. This train is going through this grassland, and this cheetah is walking across it. And the smoke that bellowed off of your train is starting to spark a fire that is around it. And now you need to get off this train. You need to get off this train and follow this cheetah, because this cheetah is going to show you how to get out of this fire, this grassland that is no longer controllable. And when you leave, you will not turn and look back to see who is on the train. You are not going to feel bad for those who have, put you to this point where you need to step forward. And you're going to follow this cheetah out of this maze. So I encourage you to find some way to give you a reminder of this cheetah, maybe even either pick up this tarot deck, or, put some art with cheetahs around your house, or even on your door, to let you know that you are going through a lot of change and things are going to be, discomforting and very vulnerable for you right now. But just remind yourself that this is for your highest good. But, you naturally attract an audience wherever you go. A good audience, and then also, those who are waiting for, it's like negative people feed on your energy and strive to make you bring out your worst side. And that makes me so angry when there are people like this in this life that just want to see your bad side and never want to see what your potential good side could be, where you are bringing these offerings and gifts and talents to those. So the more you focus on yourself, the better. And I hope these people are so upset with you, gaining all of these blessings that Spirit is giving you, and it makes them mad because their life sucks. And I don't want to feel negative about anybody, but I'm so, like I said, I'm very proud of you for doing this for yourself and your higher good. And you deserve a lot of blessings. You deserve a lot of prosperity to come in through your life right now. And you deserve to create the future that you want. You shouldn't be trying to create someone else's future. But, this is gaining a lot of momentum. And the faster you want to go to get to that point where everything is good and safe and secure, and no one is coming in and taking what you have or making you feel like you want to leave, that is, think about your purpose and the passions that you have, and notice your own achievements. And don't be impatient with what you compete. The only person you should be competing with is yourself here. But you're clothed in lightness in this moment. And while you are in this lightness, let this illumination show you all pieces of your life that need to be addressed. And let me go ahead and talk about this selenite tower that is right here. I actually do have a selenite crystal which is in this background right here, and I love it. So selenite is luminous, cleansing, and protective. With its moonlight glow, selenite illuminates your spiritual truth and greater purpose. It aligns your chakras and raises your awareness to higher dimensions, opening communication to your spiritual team. It brings clarity to the mind and slices through any negativity or confusion, cleansing your energy field and protecting your aura. Selenite brings awareness to your subconscious patterns, highlighting what is ready to be healed. It activates the crown chakra and provides a doorway to personal transformation. Cleanse your way to clarity. And we have Moon in Taurus. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with this time. And let me go ahead and reveal the self-love oracle. Look into moon energy for your highest desires. Yes, look at lunar cycles, look at ways in which you can plant and think about what you want to manifest in this life and how you can release during new moon energy or the dark moon. And, that way by the time a full moon comes in, you're ready to take those gifts, baby. Your affirmation, I am total divine. You are. You're total divine. You are light. You are sensitive to people's needs. You are sensitive to progressing others further. You're loyal to others that are loyal to you and don't bring negative energy into your life. But you are total divine. You are not worthless. You are worthy of this divinity that is coming into your life. You are worthy of this transformation, and you will always be worthy to your spirit guides, to your ancestors. This is something that you are being given, and this is a gift that you deserve. Now, your masculine, divine, feminine oracle is, did you exhibit healthy boundaries today? Yes. Always take care of your boundaries. Always make sure to walk the perimeter of your soul to see if there is a chink in the mail, or if there's something that, someone has forcefully taken down and you need to rebuild again. But always look at your boundaries and look up ways to create healthy boundaries. Be okay with saying no. You don't always have to say yes, or think about, the locks on your door and who has the keys to those doors. Now, because I emphasize so much shadow work, I wanted to kind of look at what are some of the things that your shadow is trying to bring today, or is trying to be illuminated with this cheetah. But I drew these cards first before I drew this. Now, when I am pulling any kind of shadow work oracle, I do not want y'all to feel bad for these sides that are being shown. Everyone has these sides. It's not just one person that has these. So the first one is jealousy. Your past wounds need healing. Work on your self-love. You are far greater than you know. And then we have selfish. You're wrapped up in your own desires. Try looking at and caring about the needs of others. And these could be shadows that you find expressed in other people, where when people become very jealous of you, you dim your light and think, okay, well, I probably shouldn't step on stage. I should let someone else, speak before I can. Or when you find that you grew up in a life where people just took so much from you, that the one instant that you have something that is meant for you, you hold it and prevent anybody from coming in or looking at what it is that you are taking care of. And so you hold it all within you. So when you are taking care of yourself, always remember to look and see if your tribe is on fire, or if someone else has been, holding on to your tail and they've been just going through the motions. And it's think of your partner that you may be with, and, understand that not everybody can pick up the same things that you do real quickly. And being okay when other people are, they have their own jealousy, or, when they are selfish, think about why they are selfish, what caused them to feel as if that they need to manipulate what everyone else is doing at all times. And when you can understand that part of someone, you can understand, well, do I do those things? Do I feel like I need to control the situation all the times? Do I find that my boundaries are too high and I don't let anyone in? Or I find that I become very jealous of other people and their accomplishments, and it limits my ability to love myself and love my own growth in the way that I shine in this world. But find ways to take care of yourself and let people in on this journey if they deserve it, I will say. Now, let me go ahead and talk about the other aspects of your shadow that you have been working with, healing through, or you are confronting with this energy. And it is heavy. So we have the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Five of Swords upright, and the Five of Wands in reverse. Something you have been working through is finding ways to let go of battles, letting go of the past, letting go of what people have said to you that used to sit in your mind and ruminate and, not pay its rent. And it just stuck around. And you are finding ways to choose your battles wisely. And when you enter into a room, you are not reacting based off what you are physically seeing. Or when you had in your early childhood, if you're someone that had a parent that wasn't even in the room and you and your siblings were laughing and playing and they came in and thought you were fighting, and the first thing they did was to separate you or physically cause harm to you. And it was all in their own mind. They may have not had, I can see someone growing up in a family that was very toxic, abusive, and they wouldn't let someone actually have a boundary. They had to constantly pry and put themselves in your life and tell you exactly what was wrong with you. And all of these wounds that people put in you, it's like that recurring thought of, I don't deserve good things. I'm worthless. I'm never going to achieve anything. I'm never going to have a good relationship. I'm never going to have a home. I'm never going to have people who want me. And then you find that the people that you are the most comfortable with, it's like those are the people like you intentionally forced to leave your life. And it's like you were so scared of having something really good in your life, and so you betray yourself. You see these three swords, it's like you betray yourself, and everyone that was around you, that was there to defend you and take care of you, they're wondering, what did we do wrong in the first place? Like, why did this good light leave our life? And it's because there's this fear of your shadow side or your parent manifesting and taking control of your vocal cords and causing shame or trauma, or it's just like you were so scared of passing on the trauma that was given to you, and so you push people away from you, and by doing so you feel very lonely, and you think about these thoughts at night that are creating these conflicts that are internalizing within you and creating remorse. And now that you are seeing this side of you, or even the sides of your parents, you are understanding that I'm not going to keep letting people do this. I'm going to resolve this so that way I don't feel the need to defend myself all the time, or think that everyone is attacking me or talking about me, or I'm creating a battlefield in my mind that isn't even real. So if you do struggle with any kind of anxiety, or if you have PTSD or CPTSD, or have anything that lingers and has been affecting you in your adult life, this is a time to go ahead and feel no shame for looking towards resources that can help you work through these thoughts one at a time. Tarot is one thing that you can do if you are scared of talking to someone, or, because, my sister actually, and I will share this before I leave today, my sister had went to a few different therapists because there were things that she couldn't do by herself any longer. And there's only so much that her family or her siblings can do. And she, you're wanting trusted information from the right source that had a degree. And there's, there is nothing wrong with wanting someone that has a degree in this field, but she went to 3 different therapists and they all had 3 different things to say about what she has going on. And I despise therapists that care more about attaching a label to someone than, addressing, 3 sessions should not be enough to say this is what you have. Unless, it's like they have a book and it's like, oh, there's the check. Oh, there's the check. Oh, there's the check. And to a person that wants to heal, the last thing they want to hear is that they met all the check boxes for why they are mentally messed up. And that's not fair to those that are trying to heal. So if you are worried about that, keep doing your healing journey, keep, diving into your shadow work and focus on who you allow around you. If someone is constantly causing battles in your life, or if someone is, making you feel bad about the mistakes you have made, or you feel like you need to bring up your mistakes in the past and you've already moved on from that, you shouldn't have to keep bringing up your mistakes. Actually, if you need to create little tombstones for your little altar of everything that you have buried, and then add a positive affirmation of, I am total divine, and I am total divine because I hold people accountable. I have boundaries. I am competing against myself, and I am not going to dim my light when people are jealous. I'm not selfish. When I find that I am selfish, it is because I've had things taken away from me. But today, your reading was very long, and I hope that whoever came across this message, especially if it's my returning listeners, and you were expecting this message to come out, but I feel very, this is a message I feel driven because, I understand what you have to do in order to get to that point where you are this powerful cheetah lighting up the world. But today, focus on your thoughts and what you need to transform and what is allowed to sit in your own energy today, and have those healthy boundaries. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, you are more than encouraged to like, comment, and subscribe. And I wish you a lot of blessings and gifts to come your way. And thank you for being here today. I appreciate you, and I have so much love and support, physically, energy coming through for you right now. But bye, guys.